Hey everybody, it's Casey Ritchie. Welcome back to the Branch 458 podcast. This is probably going to be a pretty quick episode. I just wanted to put something out pretty quickly to talk about the heat and how to recognize the symptoms of the heat and hopefully to beat the heat. So, just real quick, I wanted to give a correction from the last episode. I had Matt Tanner on and we talked a lot about the letter carrier political fund. We brought up a little bit about if you purchase or if you buy back your time for retirement once that law passes, that around 1 year would equal about $130 on your retirement. Shortly after that episode, Matt issued that correction and said that that's actually after 2 years. So if you purchase 2 years, if you buy back 2 years of your service, that will equal about $130 on your retirement. So I just wanted to let everyone know about that correction. I posted it in the description of that episode, but just in case anyone missed it, there's that correction. So going into the heat and things about the heat, I just wanted to mention, and I'll put it in the description. There's a link to this OSHA is pushing to increase the rules for outdoor and indoor for heat. So I'm looking forward to the outcome of this. I know it in some stations the postal service doesn't really regulate that air conditioning as good as they should. I know OSHA does not have like a standard for that. They only have guidance on what that should be. So it's not really enforceable. Indoor workplace temperatures. So the guidance that they have says that it should be between 68 and 78 degrees whenever you have indoor workplace. And unfortunately, the Postal Service in some places think that that means 78 degrees is the best to keep and maintain the air conditioner. And some of you know I've been fighting this for years in some of the stations in Oklahoma City, but this would hopefully help in that front. I know whenever you're inside your case where there's no moving air, it's just very difficult sometimes. Like you really feel that 78 degrees when there's no moving air. So I'm looking forward to see what this does for outdoor. They mention a lot of things about like cool down areas with fans, shade, mechanical ventilation, or air conditioning spaces inside trailers, vehicles, and structures used for breaks. So some of this won't apply to us, but we do work outdoors, so it would probably regulate that there be air conditioning inside of vehicles. And I would imagine that they would give employers a certain time frame to bring all those vehicles up to this new code or new rule. I don't know exactly what it would be called, but I know we have the new fleet and they do have air conditioning in them, but of course they're not going to get here fast enough. So just check that out. I'll put the link in the description for this episode. Outside of that, getting into the heat, management should be doing stand up talks pretty regularly during the summer about things to do in the heat. Um, I know some of that we really don't want to listen to and we don't want to pay attention to, but the heat is one thing that I will say that we need to pay attention to. The heat can sneak up on anybody. It can sneak up on the new carrier that probably hasn't worked outside very much, and it can even sneak up on experienced carriers that have worked years out in the heat. So make sure that you take it seriously and you're taking care of your body, you're listening to your body, and you're hydrating. It's something that I know, like one house you can be delivering to, and you're walking to the next house, and all of a sudden it hits you, and you're dizzy, you're cramping, or whatever the symptom is. And there's things that you can do to prevent that. Just a few of those things. Like I said, some of this stuff is in stand up talks. They talk about drinking water. You want to wear a wide brim hat, sunscreen. You want to wear light, loose fitting clothes. I know we have those moisture wicking polos now. I have a few of those, and they're actually pretty great. They're comfortable, and it wicks that sweat away from you. So just an option. You want to avoid alcoholic beverages. You want to avoid caffeinated beverages and sugary beverages. So all that stuff will just rapidly increase those cramps, those muscle cramps. It's not good for your body. Your muscles need that hydration so they can keep going in the heat. Just a few other things. I'll probably repeat some of this, so bear with me. I just wrote down some notes. You want to hydrate the night before. For us, we're outside Saturday through Friday. Some of us even on Sunday. So you're hydrating every single night. It does not stop. You're just constantly drinking water. You want to drink water even whenever you're not thirsty, just to stay hydrated at all times. Wear sunscreen, avoid sugary drinks, caffeinated beverages, alcohol. Wear a large brim hat to cover your neck and your ears, your face. Take breaks inside or in a shaded area. So that's as often as you need. So I know management sends out those scanner messages and they tell you take breaks in approved spots only. If you need to take a break because you're suffering from heat symptoms, and I'll go over those next, um, you need to take a break and you need to be in the shade, or if you can, you need to be inside of the air conditioning. So if you have a Metris or a ProMaster, get in there and turn the air conditioning on. If you are in an LLV and that fan and just isn't cutting it for you, I'd get out of the LLV. I know sometimes it's cooler outside than it is in the LLV. Find a shaded spot or go in a gas station or a restaurant, somewhere that'll let you just hang out for a minute so you can cool off. Worst case scenario, you can always drive back to the station and hang out there. If you're going to be hanging out for a while to cool down, you might give your supervisor a heads up that you're taking a cool down break just in case you do happen to fall to the heat, you go unconscious or whatever, they know where you're at. And they'll know that you're sitting there because of the heat. Like this is serious. We're in Oklahoma, and we feel it down here in the southern region. So some of those symptoms you guys should have received these little cards to go with your ID badge, and they have a little man on there. It's yellow, orange, and red, and it tells you the symptoms of heat exhaustion and a heat stroke. On the left side, it's going to give you the symptoms of heat exhaustion. So I'll just list those quickly. Faint or dizzy, excessive sweating, cool, pale, or clammy skin, nausea or vomiting, rapid, weak pulse, and muscle cramps. So that's all heat exhaustion. And it's telling us on here we need to call 911, get to a cool air conditioned place, drink water if you're fully conscious, and take a cool shower or use a cool compress. So some of the things that I've done that I've heard some more experienced carriers do is they'll bring those cooling rags or even a washcloth or a wash towel or something or several of them, put them in your lunchbox inside of like a Ziploc bag. And you can even put ice in that Ziploc bag, and it's cool. And you could put it on your neck or under your arms or around your head, and it cools you off pretty quickly. So that's something you can do for a cold compress. And like I said, you need to drink water and get to a cool place. On the right side of that, there's the heat stroke. So some of the symptoms for that: throbbing headache, no sweating, body temperature is above 103. You got red, hot, and dry skin, nausea or vomiting, and then rapid, strong pulse, and you may lose consciousness. Some of the things it says down here is call 911, take immediate action to cool the person until help arrives. So if you notice on that one, it one of the symptoms is you lose consciousness. So it's telling how to help someone else that has had a heat stroke. You want to get them to a cool place immediately and get help. So they've already succumbed to it, they've fallen to it. And it's what I like to tell people, it was easy for me to remember. If you've ever worked on cars, if you've ever, anything about cars, once they overheat, they're more susceptible to overheat again. Your body is the same way. So once you fall to the heat, once you succumb to a heat episode, your body is never the same after that. So you will have symptoms in just the smallest amount of heat that you might have been okay in, and it will change your way of life forever. So that's why it's important to take care of yourself and listen to your body in the heat. Um, a few other things, just pay attention to the new guys. They may not have worked outside and they may not even be thinking about it. I know we try to tell them in academy and we try to tell them whenever they're doing their shadow day, but until they experience it themselves, like there's really no preparing them for that. So just pull them aside in the office. Maybe if you see them while you're loading your vehicle, You got their phone number while they're out on the route. Just call them and check on them. Make sure they have water. Make sure they're drinking water in the evenings and they're fully prepared for the day. Check on your more senior carriers. I know whenever we're overweight, whenever we start getting older, the heat really gets to us a lot faster. So check on everybody because I know myself, I've worked outdoors for most of my adult life and I've had the heat sneak up on me before. So it catches everyone off guard. So just be safe out there, be smart about it, and everybody stay hydrated. Thanks.